Hey, what's up guys? So in this video we're going to be talking about the Uniden R3 and Blendmount compatibility. A lot of you guys already have blend mounts. Some of you are looking to get one. If you look on Blendmount's website right now, you'll see that their current Uniden mount is compatible with the LRD950 and the DFR7, the previous gen Unidens. But if you want one for the R1 or the R3, there's actually a waiting list that you can sign up for. And so on this video, I've got a number of different blend mounts here for different, Escort, Uniden, Radenso, Valentine, for other different detectors. And we're just going to try the R3 on the other brackets, the other blend mount connectors, and just see what degree of compatibility you'll have with the R3 and some of the other detectors or other mounts, including the existing blend mount Uniden mount. So let's go ahead and hop on over to the blend mount and take a look at it. So on the blend mount right now is the Uniden R3. It's currently hooked up to the mount designed for the Uniden DFR7. So basically we just do this. You can see it's a little bit loose. I didn't tighten it down completely, but I've got it set up like this and it slides right into place. Something that I noticed that is a little bit different between the DFR7 and the R3. If you notice, I can just pull it right off like this, right? If I take the DFR7, this is the one that it's designed for, that one actually clicks into place. If I pull it down like this, I can't actually take the detector off. I have to go in and hit the release button here on top, and then the detector comes off. So slide on, click into place, and it comes off. With the R3, I can slide it on like this, and then it pops right off like that, which is kind of nice actually. Now this is interesting because the original mount that comes with the Uniden detectors is actually a little bit different than what comes with the blend mount. Take a look. I've got a DFR7 here, right? And I've got the suction cup mount that it comes with. It slides into place like this and then locks into place, right? You press the release button and it comes right out. Now if you have the Uniden R1 or R3, you can use the exact same mount and it locks into place, and then you just press the release button and it comes right out, right? So as far as the Uniden mounts, it's actually exactly the same whether you're using the DFR7 or the R1 or R3. Now, I actually kind of prefer the way the R3 is set up because I can just go like this and install it. When it's in place, it's going to be nice and secure and it's not going to come off or anything. I probably should have tightened this down a little bit more for the video. But when I want to remove it, I can just do this and it slides right off and I don't have to worry about, pressing the release button. So it is a little bit more convenient and it still holds in place when I need it to. And so it's not exactly the same level of compatibility as the DFR7 because it does work a little bit differently. But truth be told, I actually kind of prefer the way it works here with the R3 than it does with the DFR7. Now this mount here, it's actually the same mount that they use for the Radenso Exp. You've got an XP here, you'll notice I'll slide it on and same thing, it slides into place and it doesn't come off unless I press the release button. So the XP, it's actually the same mount as what they have for the DFR7. The R3, it is compatible with it, but the only difference is the fact that it doesn't lock into place, it can slide off. Now, speaking of compatibility with other detectors, let's run through a lot of the other detectors that are available with different mounts and see how compatible they are with the new Unidens as well. So we're going to start first with the Radenso Pro Se. Here's the mount for the Radenso Pro Se, the little bracket. It's very similar to the Uniden ones, but it has this little cut in here on the edge. You can see where it cuts in like that. The Uniden ones, this is the Escort one, but it's completely straight on the sides. See, this one here has a little cut in. Anyway, when we put it here onto the Radenso Pro Se, it's a little bit tough to do in this kind of weird position instead of, mounting it normally. But anyway, once you get it mounted like this, here's the RPSE mount on the RPSE. Works well, of course, there's no side-to-side wobble. It clicks and locks into place so I can pull in the mount and it doesn't come off. You have to push the release button and then the mount slides off like that, right? Now, something that's actually pretty interesting is it slides on actually really well onto the R3 as well. When it connects like this, you can see there's no play side to side, right? It locks into place, so if you pull it, unlike the actual Uniden and the Radenso Exp mount, this one actually works really well. So that's a good option there. It also locks, so if you want to release it with the release button, you can do it like that. So for those of you who have an RPSE and you're upgrading to the R3 and you've got the blend mount, just keep it. It works really well. It's a great option for you. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is the Radenso Exp. This actually uses the same blend mount connector as the DFR7. It turns out it's the same bracket. But something that a lot of people have done is they've used the K40 bracket. If you get the K40 one, it actually fits the Radenso Exp like this, and it slides into place. It's a little bit loose, there's a little bit of wobble, but it does do the job. The mount is a little bit longer, like this, as you can see, so it covers the release button, but it just slides right off, so it's not that big of a deal. So this is the K40 mount on the XP. If we try this on the R3, let's go ahead and slide it into place. Same sort of thing. It doesn't lock into positions, as you can see here, but it's a little bit loose, but works well, and it is a little bit longer, so it covers the release button here as well. But for those of you guys who have the K40 mount, it will actually fit with the R3. It's not the best fit ever. You can see it just kind of slides on and off, doesn't require the lock button, right? So it'll still work. You may want to consider upgrading if you want, I guess, the release button to be accessible, or if you want it to lock into place. But if you have the K40 mount, there's a look at that. Next, I want to take a look at some mounts which are a little bit less compatible. We'll start first with the Max 360. I like the Max 360 because it doesn't have the release button. Like the detector itself comes with a magnetic mount, so there's no button to press to slide it on and off, and I actually really like that. Anyway, so if we take a look here, we'll pull the mount off the 360. If we try this on the Uniden R3, let's see, slides on, it goes in just a little bit, but it doesn't actually go in at all. So you can see it goes side to side, doesn't lock. I mean, it's just barely in, it comes out. So just the little edge of the tongue there kind of goes in. So if you have a Max series detector, Max, Max 2, GT7, Max 360, this is not going to be compatible with the R3. If you have a traditional Escort mount, if you have like a Redline or a Magnum, an RX65, something like that, that actually doesn't fit at all. The tongue itself is way too wide, and so it doesn't actually fit into the end of the R3 at all. So you can see right there, doesn't fit. So if you have, if you're upgrading from like a Redline or something, you are going to need a different bracket altogether. The Redline one, Magnum, the traditional Escort one, will not fit. And then finally, if we take a look at the Valentine 1, the V1 uses a completely different mounting system. It's got the two screws like this, which go in where the suction cups normally would, and then it connects that way. So obviously this is not going to fit. It's a completely different mounting system. So if you're switching over, upgrading from a V1, you are going to need a new bracket altogether. Blendmount does have some other ones, like I think they make a Cobra bracket. I don't have that here. I don't really mess around with Cobras too much, so I don't have that one. But as far as compatibility with other ones, it looks like it's compatible with the Radenso and the Uniden, and to a certain extent with the K40 brackets. If you have an Escort or a V1, obviously you're going to need to switch brackets altogether. So that's kind of where things stand with the Blendmount and compatibility with some of their existing brackets. If you need to pick up a Blendmount from scratch, you can do that and actually get on their waiting list and sign up for a bracket specifically for the R3. You can use the RPSC or you can use the XP/Uniden bracket. It'll work, it'll do the job. Honestly, like I said earlier, I kind of like the fact that the Uniden bracket for the DFR7, if you put an R3 on it, it doesn't lock into place, so it just makes it easier to mount and dismount your detector when you're needing to do that. So I actually kind of like that. But Blendmount does have a waiting list that you can sign up for if you want an R3 specific mount. If you want to get one of the other mounts, like maybe the Uniden mount and you're currently an Escort or Valentine user or something, they also have the Uniden mount. You can buy just the bracket, like this sort of thing, right? If you want just this part to pop into your existing Blendmount. I'll put a link down in the video description for that as well. Other than that, that's just a quick look at using different Blendmount brackets with the new Uniden R3. So cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope that answered a bunch of questions. I know a lot of you guys were wondering about all that, so it's kind of cool to play with it and take a look at everything firsthand. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions, and until next time, see you guys in the next video.